Well, hello. We are not gonna reinvent the wheel today. We are just gonna make good old-fashioned Rice Krispie treats. Those wonderful cereal treats that have marshmallow melted. We're gonna up it a little bit by using just a little bit of Halloween flair. You know, I love when it comes to Halloween time to make a homemade treat, whether it's just for my nieces and nephew, for people I know, because I know you can't always give it out to people you don't know. But if you're having a party or having people over with kids, the kids and adults will love this equally because we're gonna up it slightly. So in our kettle to melt, we're gonna put some butter, because why wouldn't you? And instead of using all butter, we're gonna cut it with some peanut butter because, again, delicious. And we're gonna melt those two together over kind of a low heat. You don't necessarily wanna burn it. We're gonna let them just slowly melt out, and then we're gonna add the healthiest marshmallows you can get. I'm joking, they're just like the best marshmallows. Now, will admit, I did not have all the small ones, which I like because I think they melt easier. I did have some big jumbo ones, so I cut them up into smaller pieces so they melt more evenly when you're going to do it. So I'm gonna turn my flame over medium, low. Don't want it to burn. Want to just melt those two together. We're gonna pour in the cereal, and it's gonna be good to go. We're gonna add some flair though, don't worry. You can see that the butter and peanut butter mixture is mostly melted. And so now we're gonna add in all of our marshmallows. Now what this is kind of a hybrid. If you were from the Midwest, you know what a scotcheroo is. And it is peanut butter, and it usually with Rice Krispie treats type. And then it has kind of a chocolate frosting with butterscotch. This is slightly kind of a convergence of, well, two of my favorite things. So we're gonna put the peanut butter and the butter. Now we're gonna melt in all these marshmallows, which will take a little bit, but not too long. So we're gonna keep stirring. Then we're just gonna throw it all together. That's what's best. So it's just a fun Halloween kind of time to make just a good old-fashioned deliciousness. When it's pretty much all melted, if a few lumps remain, that's okay. You don't wanna burn the marshmallows, that's the big thing. So keep stirring it, look at that. The peanut butter makes it a slightly different color and slightly more delicious, let's be honest. So usually I would be someone that said, you know, I do homemade things, I like making things from scratch. There's no reason to mess with goodness here. So we're using the marshmallows that are store-bought. We are using the cereal because this is how you make that good treat that you want. So as you're stirring them, it's gonna set up really quickly. So that's always, to me, the hard part, to kind of get this going without it setting up. So you have to right away just keep stirring, making sure you get all that wonderful goo on the top and worked in, and kind of bring it to the top as you're stirring and really work it in. Now, you wanna touch it because we're gonna put in just some hard shell candy. Again, this is what? This is to make people happy at Halloween. I don't really celebrate Halloween, but I love a good time to be festive, to give something fun that is just festive and fun and a treat, because that's kind of the point. So I'm gonna put them in, I'm gonna stir it, gonna get my work out, and now I have a very buttered dish. Butter here is important because you don't want them, you can see how messy and sticky this is. And if you didn't butter that dish, this would be an absolute mess. So we're gonna put them in a glob, and look at all that. Okay, one, it looks like cobwebs. So we are celebrating Halloween the right way here. And we're gonna put it all as much as we can in, make the counter messy. Guys, let me just tell you something. This is a feat to do on camera because one, when you're just like stressing out in your own kitchen, it's okay. But I have to make this look somehow clean, and it just isn't. So we're gonna put it in as best we can. Then, even though it's already on me, I take some of that butter that I buttered that pan with, put it on my hands, and press this out. And that's just gonna help slightly so it doesn't stick to my hands. So we're gonna press it out into an even layer. And then we're gonna make a little bit of a topping just to make it more seasonal. So I'll get this pressed out, we'll make the topping, dress it up a bit. That's it. This is the hardest video I've done. These have sat a little bit, and while they were sitting kind of setting up and cooling, I melted some white chocolate. I just do it in the microwave, 10-second increments, because you can really overdo or burn white chocolate quickly. So at the end, it's just kind of melted. When there's a few pieces, I just take it out, stir it enough, and then it just all melts. Pretty simple. You could do it over like a bain-marie on the stove, but why? I'm adding a little bit of orange food coloring, and I do the gel type. You always want to know, you know, not too much, not too little, but I want orange. I want it to match my sweater because it's Halloween and that's what you do. That's kind of a peachy orange, but I think we should go one more drop. one more drop. One. You can go so quickly, you never know. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna drizzle this kind of over the top. Nothing fancy, nothing oh, look at that. So once it's stirred and you have your orange white chocolate, we're gonna just start drizzling it, kind of angled, nothing perfect. Look at that. We're kind of going to go back and forth until we kind of get it just like nothing. Now, as I put one layer on, you know what I'm realizing? I want a little bit more orange on top. So I'm gonna layer and put a little bit, maybe more food coloring in it so you get some like depth to it. I don't know, it's a trick to make it look like you had multiple ones, but don't. So we're gonna go a little bit darker now. And what we're gonna do is, as the chocolate is still wet, it's still warm, until it sets up, we're gonna add then kind of little eyeballs every so often, kind of on what would be maybe a little bar, because I'll cut these in, and it kind of depends on your pan size, but probably about 15. I'll probably do 3 by 5. So you can kind of know roughly where your things are gonna be. So we're gonna, oh, little eyeball. Guys, I never do things like this, but sometimes it's just fun. And Halloween is one of those times where it can be fun. So I'm gonna cut it in 3 by 5, so you have to think 5. So boom, yeah, this will be good. And just do it on the chocolate that's wet. Oh, I'm getting a kick out of myself. Okay, I'm gonna put on all the eyeballs. Then we'll cut a piece. Once the white chocolate sets up, then you can just go ahead and cut them. Now, if you wanted to set up a little quicker, you could stick them in the fridge or freezer for just, a couple minutes to make sure that white chocolate sets. Then I just always go along with some type of spatula, make sure the edges are separated. We buttered the pan well to make sure they come out. Because again, when you're having Rice Krispies, I think half of it is to cut them well. I don't know why, but to me, there's just something special about that. So we're going through, making sure that they're not sticking, which if you have a spot that you didn't maybe get as buttered, it will. So I'm gonna pull them out. And I even buttered my knife because I just think it's gonna work better. So I said, 3 by 5, which literally the eyes are helping me perfectly cut. Look at that. Oh yeah, those look good. And then we're just coming in 3s. Ah, I love this. So what's fun is, okay, the eyes are completely pointless. They are edible, so don't worry. But look how fun that is. You have a little treat that's like alive and it has eyes. It's just fun. You get the piece of candy. I love it. It's just simple. And guys, it's Halloween. Why not enjoy it? Okay. If you are a Scotcheroo lover, this is your jam. I mean, maybe it doesn't have the chocolate frosting, but you have that like conversion of that marshmallowy treat with the peanut butter. And then the piece of candy actually are really good. They don't just look good for Halloween, they're just delicious in there. You can get peanut butter filled ones, you can get whatever you want. And then eventually you're gonna have to eat the eyeballs, but they're edible, so it's okay. This is just fun. This is a way to enjoy a season that maybe if you're like me, you don't necessarily do a lot for, but it's a way to feel festive and just enjoy it and maybe pass on some treats and joy to someone else. So I want you, of course, to share this video. When you guys share these videos, it helps me immensely, but it also helps everyone see this stuff is so doable. It is easy to enjoy good food, a good life, whatever it is, and have fun. So pass it around, check my website, wiseguy.com. It has this recipe and every other recipe on it. It's always there for you. Until next time, go make some treats, enjoy a little googly eye time, and have fun.